Hi everyone, welcome to today's practice. I hope you are all well. So our practice today, we will do a little bit of core work, just to fire up the core and our glutes, and then we'll do a little flow. So come and join me, lying on your backs. So feet about hip width apart. Bring the pelvis so it's in neutral, so the sacrum, that lower back's in contact with the floor, making sure you've just got that natural curve in the lower back. Hip points are level with that pubic bone. And then just allow the arms to rest on the floor. Backs of the hands on the floor, palms facing the ceiling. Lengthen the neck, lovely long spine, and just remember that neck is part of the spine. And then just soften the hands, the fingers, the elbows. Keep that chest open, so broad across the collarbones. Just allowing the backs of the shoulders, the shoulder blades to come in contact with the mat. Just a few rounds of your natural breath here. Checking that you're not jutting that chin up to the ceiling. And from here, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Start to inhale wide and full, so direct the breath to the sides and the back of the rib cage. And a soft, easy exhale out through the nose. So breathing in wide and full. Feel that rib cage expand. Soft, easy exhale out through the nose. Feel the rib cage softening. Inhale. And that soft, easy exhale. And on your next exhale, just going to have that gentle brace, that gentle hug in, activating your body's own natural corset. So those muscles underneath your six packs. Think about drawing the lower ribs in, so the lower ribs aren't flaring out. Keep that pelvis in neutral. And let's start to wake up with our leg float. So float that right foot off the floor. Movement is coming from the right hip. There's no movement at the knee or the foot. The left leg float. Movement from that left hip. So keeping that pelvis in neutral. And if you want to, you can bring the hands to the pelvis, to the hips, just to making sure that you're staying in neutral. Or you can just keep them at the floor. And then we're just alternating between right and left. Checking that you're not flaring out the lower ribs. Check that you're still breathing wide and full. So next time that right leg comes up, maybe float the left arm so the fingertips point straight up towards the ceiling. So fingertips, wrist, elbow, shoulder, and float back down. Now if it feels a little bit too much for your shoulder joint to float up that high, maybe just float the arm up. Maybe it's just slightly coming off the floor. Maybe it's only coming up as high as the thigh or the knee. That is fine. Just work with your own range of movement at the shoulder joint. Checking that you're not flaring the lower ribs out. Keep that gentle hug in. One breath per movement. So don't worry if you're inhaling up or exhaling up or the other way round. Just keep it slow and controlled. You're floating the leg up and floating the arm up. Maybe you're just still doing the legs, which is fine. And then let's see if we can do one more on each side. So let's do one more right. And then one more left. Pausing here. And then let's check our base, pelvis in neutral. Checking with the feet, weight even through both feet. Spread the feet wide. Big toe mound in contact with the floor. That gentle hug in. Slowly float the hips off the floor, coming into low bridge. Checking that you're using those glutes. Maybe have a little poke to see if those glutes are firing up. Pelvis is staying in neutral. Pause in here. Breathing wide and full. And on your next exhale, roll down, upper back, mid back, lower back, vertebrae by vertebrae. You'll come to that pelvic tilt, slowly come back to neutral. Pause in here. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, just releasing everything. Inhale. As you exhale, that gentle hug in, pelvis in neutral. Use those glutes, lift up into your low bridge. Check your base. Check there's no tension or strain in that neck or upper back. Keep that chest open. And then from here, we're coming into heel raises, single leg. So keeping the ball of the right foot on the floor, just bring that right heel off the floor. Slowly lower that right heel down. And then the left heel. Lower the left heel down. So the left foot stays in contact with the floor as you lift the right heel off the floor, lower it down, and then the left, lowering it down. So alternating heel raises, right and left. Checking that you're still breathing wide and full. Check that that pelvis is neutral. You may feel your calf muscles start to fire up. Checking that those glutes are still activated. Let's do one more if you can, right? One more left. Bring both feet down and then slowly roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Pelvic tilt. Slowly come back to neutral. Set your base pelvis to neutral. Float the left foot off the floor, left knee, left hip, and then float the right. Now if this feels too much, we're coming into toe taps. You can come back to leg floats or just stay with your leg floats. Keep that gentle hug in, and then the left toes tap. So they come up and then the right. So it's actual ball of my foot that's touching the floor. You may be able to tap your toes, but I'm just lightly bringing the ball of my foot down. So like the leg floats, there's no movement at the knee or the ankle. The movement's coming from that hip joint. So keep that gentle hug in. One breath per movement. Check that you're not doming that belly up. Check there's no tension in the upper body. Let's do one more left, one more right, and then from here flex the feet so the toes point up towards the ceiling and just allow the heel to tap, left heel tap, right heel tap, and then just slow it down so it's slow and controlled, slow and controlled. Check that you're breathing and not holding your breath. Shoulders, elbows, hands soft and relaxed. And if you need to rest, rest, but we're doing 4 more each leg. So let's go. 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. And 1. And then just slowly bring the knees in towards the chest, hug them in, maybe a little sway from side to side. Take a nice deep breath in, big exhale, release. Just pause in here and just bring your awareness back to the breath. Just your natural breath, inhaling, exhaling through the nose. And then from here, slowly float one foot down, the other foot down. Coming into a full body stretch. Maybe bring the arms above the shoulders if that feels above the shoulders, above the head if that feels comfortable for you. Maybe lengthening out the right leg and the left, or maybe you're just doing one leg at a time. Just pause in here. Lovely long stretch. And just slowly release the arms down by the side of your body. Slide one foot in, then the other foot in, knees are bent, feet flat on the floor. Take a nice deep breath in. Big sigh out through the mouth. And then just slowly come to one side, slowly come up. I'm just going to grab a drink and I want to come to me standing at the front of the mat to do our little flow. So from here, not right up to the very top of the mat, just so you've got space to bring the hands down. So feet about hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider, maybe a bit narrow, just see how you feel. Soften those knees so you've got some buoyancy in those knees. Pelvis in neutral, that gentle hug in, Just allow the arms to just dangle at the sides. Take a nice deep breath in, float the arms, fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. As you exhale, slowly release the arms down. Inhale, float the arms up. As you exhale, release the arms down. Inhale, float the arms up. As you exhale, bring the hands through to heart center. Allow the hips to float back, hinging from the hips. Slowly come down. Keep those knees soft and bend them. Step that right foot back, right knee, top of the right foot in contact with the floor. Slowly come up into your 90-90 kneeling lunge. So the pelvis is neutral. Pushing down for the top of the right foot, lifting out from that right knee. Reach the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling, lifting out through the rib cage, crown of the head towards the ceiling. Lovely long stretch. You can soften those elbows and the fingers if you want to. And as you exhale, slowly plant the hand, maybe a little into the right as you slide back to tabletop. Set your base, shoulders over the wrists, knees underneath the hips, or a little bit further forward to keep that pelvis in neutral. Shoulder blades, remember, on the back of the rib cage. Pausing here for a moment. Pushing down through the hands as you exhale, round the spine, slowly coming into your cat. Maybe release the top of the head towards the floor. As you inhale, slowly curl up, vertebrae by vertebrae, neutral, and just allow the chest to float between the arms. You'll find that tailbone will lift slightly, coming into cat. Maybe lift the head slightly, but try not to jut the chin up. Just being careful of that neck and that lower back. And on your exhale, pushing down through the hands, slowly round back, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming into your cat. When you're ready to inhale, slowly uncurl. You'll come through to neutral. Allow the chest to float forward. Check that you're not just dumping the belly to the floor. Keep pulling up. And then coming into cat. Pausing here. And then tuck the toes in your cat. Gentle hugging into the midline. Float the knees off the floor. Imagine someone's lifting the hips up, coming into your downward facing dog. Soften those knees, spread the toes wide, push up through the arms, lengthen the armpits, lovely long spine, relax the head and neck. Think about lengthening out the spine rather than thinking about heels to the floor. Pause in here, breathe into the sides and the back of the rib cage. And on your next exhale, lower the knees to the floor, tabletop. Pause in here. Shoulders over the wrists, shoulder blades in neutral. Slide that right leg out behind you. Toes on the floor. Soften that right knee. Square off the hips. Use that right glute. Float the right toes off the floor. Pause in here. Option to add in the left arm. Coming into Superman. The left arm, right leg. Pause in here. Keep nice and strong. Check that you're looking down towards the mat and not dropping the head down and jotting that chin up. Exhale. Bring the right hand underneath the right shoulder, bend that right knee, take a nice deep breath in, maybe a little lean to the left as you step that right foot to the front of the mat in between the hands. Bring the right hand to the right hip, so you're in a kneeling lunge. Bring that belly round to the right, coming into a twisted kneeling lunge, pausing here, and then just release that left ear down towards the left shoulder, left wrist, leaning back into that left shoulder blade. No stress or tension in the neck. Pausing here. Take a nice deep breath in. Slowly come back to centre. Tuck the left toes. Slowly come up, reach the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Lovely long stretch. Pushing back into the ball of that left foot. Lifting out from the left knee. Release the arms down and roll that right shoulder back. The left, the right, and the left. And then from here, your option, you can bring the hands to the thigh to help you. But on your inhale, you'll slowly come all the way up, coming into a high crescent lunge. So making sure you're on two lines, not one. Pelvis in neutral. Tough work getting up, but use that thigh to help you climb up your body. Once you're ready, bring the fingertips up towards the ceiling. So you're on the ball of the left foot. Soften that left knee to help keep the pelvis in neutral. Gentle hug into the midline. Hips are pointing straight ahead. Inhale, lengthen that right leg. And as you exhale, soften the elbows, goddess arms, and bring that belly round to the right. And then slowly, as you inhale, come back to center, lengthen the right leg. Exhale, soften the elbows, goddess arms. Bring that belly round to the right as you twist. And then inhale back to center, lengthen. And exhale, soften, belly round to the right. And then slowly come back to center. Inhale all the way up. And as you exhale, slowly soften, coming into low lunge, pushing back to that left foot. And then from here, shift the weight into that right leg. Step the left foot forward, halfway lift. Shift the weight even through both feet. Lengthen out that spine. Really allow the hips to float back, fingertips to the mat. And then hip hinge all the way up, lovely long spine. Reach the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, hands down through to heart center. Soften the knees, hips float back, hip hinging forward. Step that left foot back, left knee down, top of the left foot down. Slowly come up, kneeling lunge, pelvis in neutral, fingertips towards the ceiling. So keep pushing down to that left foot, reaching out for that left knee, fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands come forward, framing that front foot, slide it back, tabletop, set your base. From here, take a nice deep breath in, allow the chest to float forward, coming into your cow. Remember, be careful with that neck and that lower back. And as you exhale, push down through the hands, round the back, coming into cat. Pause in here, tuck the toes. And as you inhale, float the knees off the floor, coming up to your downward facing dog. Pushing down, pushing up through the arms, should I say. Lengthen the armpits, maybe keep those knees soft or put lots of bend in them. Hips are high. Imagine someone's hoisting those hips up high. Lengthen the spine. Gentle hug into the midline. And then exhale, lower the knees to the floor. Set your base, shoulders over wrists. Neutral shoulder blades, neutral pelvis. Gentle hug in, slide that left leg back. Use that left glute to float the toes off the floor, hips are square. Option to add in the right arm. Pause in here. Lovely long spine, neck is nice and long. Pause in here, gentle hug in. And as you exhale, right hand underneath that right shoulder, bend that left knee, step it forward, bring the left hand to the left hip, come into that kneeling lunge, bring that belly round to the left, coming into that kneeling twist. Release the right ear to the right shoulder, leaning back into that right shoulder blade. Right shoulder, right wrist, pause in here. And then just tuck those toes, come back to center, slowly coming all the way up into that kneeling lunge, reach the fingertips all the way up. Right toes are tucked, pelvis in neutral, keep that gentle hug in. Release the arms down. Roll the left shoulder, the right, the left, the right, the left, and the right. And with strength, when you're ready, come all the way up. I'm just going to show you how you can use that leg. So checking that your feet are on two lines. You might need to bring that knee in a little bit closer. You can just lean forward, you can push down, adjust that back leg if you need to. Slowly crawl your way all the way up. Set yourself up first. So two lines, not one. Pelvis neutral, soften that knee, and then when you're ready, here. And just breathe in here. And inhale, lengthen that left leg. As you exhale, soften down, soften the elbows, goddess arms, belly to the left. Slowly come back to center on the inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften, belly to the left and that twist. So your shoulders and arms are just going for the ride. It's your body that's twisting round. So let the belly follow, you follow the belly. So belly round and up. So it's up and down, and then just slowly come all the way down. Hands and fingertips to the floor, low lunge. Push back to that right heel, lengthen the spine. All the way to that left leg. Step it forward, feet hip width apart. Lengthen out the spine, come onto your fingertips. Knees are bent. And push down through both feet. Slowly come up, bring the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Slowly bring the hands down through to heart center. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, soften, keep those knees soft, keep the pelvis in neutral. Inhale, float all the way up. And exhale, soften down. Just pause in here. Close the eyes. Lengthen the spine. Keep that pelvis in neutral. Elbows are soft, shoulders, hands and fingers are soft. Check that you're not jotting that chin up. I just reminded myself. And just that natural breath. Just keep awareness on the breath. Just observing without judgment. Inhale through the nose, a long full inhale. And just allow the lips to part slightly. And just allow the exhale to come out through the parted lips. Inhale. Full slow inhale. Soft easy exhale out through the mouth. Let's do a few more of those. Keeping the eyes closed, take a nice long inhale. Float the arms, fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, slowly bring the hands down through to heart center. Allow the thumbs to connect to the heartbeat. Inhale, big sigh out through the mouth. 2 more. Last one. Thank you very much for joining me. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you find peace within. Slowly flutter your eyes open. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that little flow and that little core warm up, and I shall see you soon. Take care.